Hey there, it's Coach C, Christine Nielsen, and welcome to your daily dose of C. And this is your vitamin shot for you, your business, and whatever you're up to that's going to inspire you from Coach C. This is January the 2nd, and it has been a wild day. So, yesterday on New Year's Day, I mentioned to you, please don't make New Year's resolutions. Resolve, commit, get a plan, figure out what do you want. And it's so interesting to me because today, the very first thing that I wanted to do was have some eat the frog moments. So, what's an eat the frog moment? An eat the frog moment is where you clean up something that has been on your mind, bothering you, left undone, things from last year that didn't get quite complete in 2019 that still needed to get done. There's always something that needs to get done. And today was really about cleaning up a lot of stuff and digging deep and rolling up my sleeves. And just, it felt so good at the end of the day. But I gotta tell you, during those Eat the Frog moments, it's not a lot of fun. Now, I didn't make up Eat the Frog. It was actually donated to me by a client. And I stole that phrase because I really think it's appropriate that every day you have a list of, one Eat the Frog moment where it's something that you've been doing, putting off, avoiding, don't want to. Then you also have a moment where you do something that exhilarates you. And in doing something that exhilarates you, you feel accomplished. So your actions are, one, you've done something that you've accomplished that you didn't want to do, that you've been avoiding, putting off, procrastinating. And two, the second piece is then you reward yourself with something that you really wanted to do. So not only did I do a lot of cleaning stuff up today, but I also did a lot of mind feeding. I really love listening to podcasts and learning so much. And I've been really working with learning and listening a lot on, more about neuroscience and your brain and how your brain works at business, but also just some really interesting and very aligned ideas that work for me and that I say a lot as well. So I did a lot of mind feeding today. I listened and did some reading as well. So every day, we talk about commit and what do you really want? You have to also do things that change your actions. So if you really want to improve your memory, then you need to read more. You need to memorize things. If you want to be able to have better conversations with people or be able to talk about pop culture or how do you introduce somebody, if you're looking at building relationships and how do you build rapport or you want to elevate your sales, reading and connecting are the two fundamental things that you want to be working on. So what does that look like? So in your calendar, did you schedule time today to have an Eat the Frog moment? Maybe clean up a mess, clean out your inbox. That's definitely high on my priority this week. Whatever your Eat the Frog moment is, do something that is really gonna get you out of, it's not something you want to do, but it will give you that sense of accomplishment. And then, also do some mind feeding where you're looking at and exploring ideas when you're taking that element of curiosity and you apply one moment. So every day, if you take one aha moment, one thing that you had an insight, and you write that down either in a journal or often people will say to me, journaling is everything. And I do agree. Journaling is everything, but I don't write. I type a lot or I voice. I'll be in the middle of something and I'll have an insight and I'll use my voice recorder and I'll have that insight recorded and then I'll either transcribe the insight and put it into what we use for our project management tool. And so we put things in place where it's not just an insight, it actually goes into the calendar. Like, don't just have a great thought, take an action about that. So it could be, this is really bothering me. I've got to get this thing cleaned up. It could be, I want to make sure that I schedule in 20 minutes a day for reading, 20 minutes a day for meditating. Often people say to me, hey, Coach C, what is your morning routine? Well, I'm going to share that with you because I think when you start your day powerfully, your day will continue to be powerful. And you got to do certain things to be able to have the energy and the vitality. So I get up between 5:30 every morning. And even on holidays, I really do try to get up around that time. Sometimes if I'm not feeling well, I will allow myself some sleep. But even on holidays, I try to get up between 5:30. And the first thing I do every morning is I meditate. I also write in my gratitude journal. That is the one time that I will physically write, or I also have an app on my phone. I know, crazy, right? There is an app for gratitude. And I'll just sit and really bask in, when I wake up in the morning, what is it that I am grateful for? And specifically, very specifically, not I'm grateful for my kids, I'm grateful for my husband, I'm grateful for my career, I'm grateful for, whatever. It has to be very specific. I'm grateful for my husband for cooking a beautiful birthday dinner for me. I am grateful for my son who went shopping and bought his own gift for me. I'm grateful for, the ability to take the dog for a walk and enjoy being outside in the crisp, cool air. So be really specific with your gratitude. And then the second thing, as I said to you, I meditate. I try to meditate for about 20 minutes a day. I need guided meditation. I'm a bit ADD. If anybody knows me, they know I'm a lot ADD. ADHD maybe. I'm pretty active, but my brain is always going. It's going nonstop, and I'm pretty busy. I like to be really active. So meditation actually helps calm a racy mind. So I really need to meditate. Otherwise, my brain is all over the place. And I use that meditation time to create what do I want? What's my vision? So I use that guided meditation time to really figure out and get very clear on my intention for the day and what do I want. And it could be an intention for the month, it could be an intention for my year, but it's something that I am visioning and going forward into the future. So remember how we talked about yesterday a little bit about people are often operating from the past. So we did something, we tried something, and we failed. Well, your mind will always pull you back into the past. You can count on it to do that. But what you want to do to be able to pull yourself forward is create your vision. And what do you want? Like, what do you really want? And it's funny because when I ask this question to clients and I'll say, well, what do you want? They often get this dead, like, I don't know. And I want to talk about that and unpack that for a minute. When I ask someone, what do you want? And they can't tell me the answer to that question, it isn't necessarily that they don't know. They're having an unconscious reaction. And the unconscious reaction is they're afraid to say what they want. And the fear could be either because what happens if they actually get it, or what happens if they get disappointed and they don't get it. So we're always operating from loss, less, or never. What if it never happens? And then I'm setting myself up to fail. So I just won't want anything because I don't want to set myself up to fail. You'll see that a lot. Or people are confused about what they want because underneath what they think they want and what they truly desire in life, they seem to be at opposite ends. There seem to be opposing forces going on there. So what we think we want is influenced by, other people's desires for us, or what we are supposed to want in our lives. And that's not necessarily true. So when I ask you, what do you want? I want you to spend some time. And for the next, if you really want to make this a practice and a habit in your life, start doing this daily. What do I want? And it could be, what do I want today? What do I want for my life? What do I want this year? What do I want? Because the more clear you are about what you want and who you are, the more what I'll call is it'll be like an unfolding. It'll happen. It'll actually happen. If you're not clear and you don't have a direction and you don't have a vision, guess what? Nothing's going to happen. So instead of having that unconscious thought of, I'm afraid I don't know what I want, or I'm afraid I don't have focus, just try different things on. Step out. Maybe you want to learn a new sport. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to move. Maybe you want to get into a relationship. Maybe you want to get out of a relationship. What do you want? And I'll share a story with you. For years and years, I was very afraid of telling people that I wanted to speak on big stages. I was terrified because the minute I say that, I'm committing myself. I am giving my word and I'm committing myself. And for so many years in my career as a coach and a consultant, I coached in small, more corporate environments, 200-300 people, leading programs and courses. And I was so comfortable there. And I really loved that work. But what I really wanted were really big stages where I could have my message heard by thousands of people. And when I finally last year shared that with my coach, and he said, well, it's time to make that happen. Within my speaking what I really wanted and not being afraid, and, because the thoughts that I had that stopped me from actually even telling people what I wanted were, who am I? Who am I possibly to want that? Why do I think I'm so good? I don't. I just really have a vision for myself and my life that I think my message makes a difference. And if I don't share it, then nobody else is going to. And so I had to get over my fears and get over my self-doubt, the self-deprecation that we all have, those negative thoughts that pulled me right back. But first I had to get awake to them. You can't get through something if you're unconscious to it. So the first piece on this one is I want you to know, one, when you go to say what you want, all of that unconscious thought will start to twist it, turn it, pull it out. Now, some of you are really clear. You want, certain amount of money in the bank. You want a house. You want to travel. You want this. You want that. That's the first step. That's amazing. Now, what are the actions that you're going to take to get that on a daily basis? So is who you're being consistent with that? And I don't really mean about the material things. I really mean, who do you want to be in your life? And what impact do you want to make? And how will that look for you? So many people, and this will be tomorrow's section on, what does that look like? But so many people are afraid to say what they want. And the fear of saying what they want, one is being held to account for it, but also, what if it doesn't happen? So what? You'll learn, you'll fail forward. Don't be afraid to fail. Try things. If you don't try, you will never know. When the first time that I got up to speak on a really big stage, I was shaking like a leaf. In this past year, to finish that story off, I said that to my coach, this is what I want. And I spoke this last year in front of 2,800 people, in front of 6,000 people, and then in front of 10,000 people. And it was extraordinary. And, I didn't die. The earth didn't swallow me up. And so many opportunities have opened up just in the ability to have been able to have that happen. And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't say what I wanted. So I want you to start doing those two things: your gratitude, slowing down that racing mind, and then figuring out, what do I really want? And, also behind what do I really want? Why is that important to me? Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed today's Coach C's Corner in my nice comfy chair. And don't forget, make sure you have an Eat the Frog moment every day. Eat the frog. Signing off in Coach C's Corner.